Welcome back to the series where you and I both learn how to 3D design, 3D print, and also 3D scan and manipulate all those three things. So today we're back in Fusion 360. My sister's vacuuming across the hall, so please ignore that, but let's get straight into it. So if you look at this top-down view of Fusion 360, this is the scan that we manipulated last time, and today we're going to be designing on top of it. So it's a little wonky, as in when you look on top, it's hard to see if it's oriented in the right way. So like this distance to this line and this distance to that line, but just move it to your best ability. So today we're going to design a roof wing that is supposed to lay on top of the IS300 roof. So most people, I can't even say most people, but myself, I thought you'd have to do a solid sketch and then move on from there. But Fusion 360 has this really interesting option called form. So what I like to do is create a form and a plane. You could add thickness later, so don't worry about that. But we're just going to add a plane on this plane right here and then roughly sketch it, because you could always form it like it says, like the mode in this software, and form it to how you like. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna roughly form it 4 inches and maybe 46 inches like this, okay? So again, this is how to design stuff on meshes for dummies. So it's going to be very, very bare bones, but as you can see, this is just a rectangular plane. I'm gonna do 4 divisions across the top side, and then let's do 4 divisions across the length side. That actually might be too much, so let's do 3. So no symmetry. Let's just do it individually, okay? Just to make things a little bit easier and show you how things can go. You could definitely add some symmetry, which means it'll duplicate what you do on the right to the left, or basically how the curve like mimics itself. But scratch that. I'm actually going to do some symmetry. AI assistance, am I right? God, please get out of my way. There you go. All right, let's do some symmetry. So let's do some length symmetry, or width. Yeah, width I can't speak today. Length symmetry. There you go. So you do modify up here where it says edit form, edit the form, and then you could modify either dots, which are vertexes, edges, which are edges, faces, which are the boxes, or everything. So let's try this and see if my symmetry thing works. So you just drag it up there. There you go. It works pretty perfectly. I don't even think that's the right sentence, but it's difficult. The difficult part about having the symmetry on is if your model isn't exactly in the middle. So because of how this model looks from above, it looks a little wonky from above. It looks like a little off center, and that's just how we manipulated it. But again, this is trial and error for me and for you. This is, as you can see up here, Ep.6 for this roof wing. So we could push that all the way to the edge, and you could really, really zoom in. And then if you look on the other side, it should hopefully also match that edge, which in my opinion, that's close enough. So then you could go to this middle section, or this middle of the line, and bring it up as well. And then same here, check. You could pull it down with this square, check if you're below the line. And for me, I want to be below this line so the roof wing fits nicely. So right here, I'm above the line. Let's push it back. Where'd the line go? Right there. Okay. So you could always mess around with it and just slowly make it fit as you want it. So I orientated this where it is sitting slightly above, well, a lot above the scan itself. So a way to fix that is to click body, click the body, and then use this arrow and pull it down. So you can go all the way through. And what I like to do is click on left and then see where this line is. So this line is right there. For me, how I've been doing it in the past 6 attempts is move it towards right here, like right on top. And you can get a little bit like more precise. So that's a little bit taller than I wanted. So I could do -1.4. Or sorry, I needed to do a little bit higher. So -1.6. There you go. Well, that's a little too much. So let's do this again. Modify, body, click the body, -1.6, nope, 5.5. Okay, that didn't do anything. Modify, body, move it down. Where's it at right now? Okay, that's honestly not bad. I'll do a little bit lower, so -0.4. Okay, for some reason it doesn't want to cooperate. Okay, let's do it again. -0.45. Too much. -0.2. Nope, too much. -0.1. A little bit too much. -0.01 or 0.5. Okay, there you go. As you can see right there, that's where I want it, in between these two parts of the roof wing or the scan itself. And I'm going to harp on this multiple times throughout the video. I'm learning the same time you're learning. So if you look at the top, it fits the curve of the entire thing very nicely. But I just realized something. We accidentally moved it towards the left. So simple fix, edit form, entire body, and then you could just move it back to center, which is right here. I'm using this stupid looking antenna as the center. So let's do that. Okay, and then let's drag these vertices out all the way and match the line. So you do vertex, and then you could, I like using the squares because you get to do this. So there you go. Drag these main ones all the way to the edge, and you can zoom in a bit and make sure the lines are a little straight. And Fusion 360 is really, really good about this because they have tons of modifying tools, like tons of stuff that I haven't even delved into. But as you can see right there, excuse my sister working or cleaning up the hallway right now, or whatever. Still living in my parents' home. But yeah, you could easily just move stuff out. And from the top, it looks good. But if you change the angle, it might be a little deceptive. So don't worry about that. We'll fix that later. So right now, I just want to get it from the top view correctly. So I want to match this curve with this curve. And I don't know a better way of doing this. I don't know a better way of doing this except just dragging these out. So what I'm going to do is just drag this out, look at it from the top view, and see how I like it. So I could always just push this back like that and make sure the lines look good as well. And like I said, it's a lot of trial and error. So there you go. That doesn't look that bad, but you see this huge gap and how these are even. I just personally like to fix it. It makes my life easier in the future. And I can't really explain how, other than when you're manipulating it later, you don't want these lines to like bunch up. So in my opinion, that seems like it's kind of good enough for right now. Yeah, let's make these curves kind of like even across this, just for like the sake of the video. Make it good enough, and then we could talk about how to add the edges. So here you go. There you go. Looks pretty good, right? We're getting there. So now we got to add the side portions of the roof wing. So let's finish this form. Create form. Add a plane again, but on this side. So this time let's make a one that's like 2 inches by like 5. Why not? So this will be matching our top, which I forgot how many we put. I think it was 4 and then 3 on the side. So I don't really remember, but let's just hope it works. So modify, edit form, get this entire thing, and then move it. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Use the squares and move it all the way. Oh, that's not what I want either. move it all the way here. So if you look at it from the top view, it doesn't really match. So let's move it right here where the top matches a little. So I like to pull it down and then angle it the same way. So I like to put a little across, like, if that makes sense, like have a little bit of a gap, and you'll see why later. So 5 degrees, no, it's too much. So let's do 1 degree. There you go. That matches it pretty well. So then I like to drag it down where it like connects to the rear windscreen. So modify, object, or body, and pull it down. Let's look at it from the right view. So this faint line is the wing. So let's just put it right here. Okay. Whoa. Okay, that didn't work too well. I don't know why it moved it this way. So let's manipulate it again. Modify, move this here. And then it's kind of difficult to move around in this software. And then you can manipulate it. But before I do that, I'm going to mirror it on the different side. So press OK, let it load, and let's mirror it. So symmetry, mirror, and duplicate. So click this, and then click this. Hello? T-spline body. There you go. And it's on the other side. So now whatever you do on the right side will be on the left side and vice versa. So now you can modify this. Edit form. Do this. And now you could arrange it how you want. So the way I like doing it is holding control, click all these edges, and then first thing to do is yank them this way. So there you go. Oh no, I did not mean to have it symmetried, if that even makes sense. So I gotta restart this entire thing and redo this plane. So I'll be right back. So now we can manipulate this. So let's edit the form, use the edges. I don't know why I call it vertexes, but there you go. And then move it this way. So match with that thing. That's good enough, in my opinion. Go back to vertexes and start forming it towards a body. And it's going to be a little annoying, but if you think about it as like Play-Doh or like forming like a mold, it gets a little bit easier. And there is like object snap, but I don't like using it. Okay, this tech preview keeps on popping up. Please turn off. Go away. All right. There's object snap, but if you look at it, I mean, it's okay. I don't like using it because like I just like, yeah, it's okay. Like, look at that. Like, it just connects to wherever it wants to connect. So let's not do that. Yeah. So let's modify this again. Edit form. Don't object snap. And that still looks good. Don't object snap. And then you could, whoa, all right. You could turn off the body itself and then move this up. I like moving all these up so the lines kind of match up, because that's the way I like to do it, just to make things easier on me in the future, because it gets messy really quick. You'd be surprised how messy it gets, but there you go. I like moving all these separately like this. And then turning on the body again. Hey, that's not bad. So let's move all these up so it makes your life easier. And you don't want any curves as much. So that's where it's supposed to be. And you could always adjust it later and form it. And it's really just trial and error. So I didn't mean to press OK. All right, where are we at? So that is still clipping through. So let's modify it again. Push this down. Make sure it lines up with that. And this video will probably be a two-part video, to be completely honest. Once I get this connected and looking like a wing, then we could form it onto it and match all the curves, which will be next week's video. But let's turn off the body. This is an issue right here, so let's fix this. I didn't mean to press OK. Okay, there we go. Now we're finally getting somewhere. Okay, here you go. Let's move this way. Modify this again. Edit form again. There we go. There we go. So that's not bad at all. That fits pretty nicely. Let's look at the other side. It's actually a really good example. Fits pretty nicely. Let's look underneath. Kind of clipping through, but it's clipping through that little valley, which is great. Okay, we could always like bring it up a little to create a little bit of tolerance, which means a little bit of space. So when you print it out, it's good. So last part of the video, let's connect this wing together. So let's finish the form. And there you go, voila. You have a thing that looks like a roof wing, even though it isn't a roof wing yet, but we're getting there. So let's go back to, yeah. So let's modify the first form. So right here on the bottom, which is all your like timeline, like just like an editing software, or if you don't know what an editing software is or whatever, on the bottom right here, this is a timeline section. So everything that you've done, all the movements, inserting the mesh and everything. So let's edit this form. You do modify. And if you look at it, they give you like a description of what each thing does, like bridge and hull and erase and fill, all that kind of stuff. So let's merge edges. So group 1. So hold control again. 1, 2, 3. Oh man, I just realized something. I just made a huge mistake. You can't make these forms separately. You have to make the forms in the same form. So I can't connect this. I'll be right back. Let me fix this. So unfortunately, they have to be in the same forms feature. So I have to do this again, but by going to the first form feature and then basically create this entire thing again. So actually, I could just follow this yellow thing. So if you can't see it right here, there's that yellow triangle that I made earlier, which actually make things a lot easier for me. So I don't have to go back and forth. So just pull it up, see that triangle, go down, and then you see how this edge is like a little weird? Well, that's a mistake that we made last time. So we could easily, and I kind of like this curve, to be honest, which you could always edit later. But there you go. I mean, just matching the yellow imprint of, or I don't even know what to call it, the yellow shadow of my previous design. Fusion makes it very easy to manipulate whatever you need to manipulate. You see that yellow? Yeah, just match it, and there you go. Should be fine now. So let's do, okay. Turn on the body, and it fits. So there you go. You don't need to do a lot of the complicated stuff. So, or like redo the entire thing. So let's move this entire thing a little bit this way. So yeah, a little bit like this, and then let's copy it to the other side. So let's duplicate it. There you go. So this and then that. So there you go. It's duplicated. It looks good. And now let's connect all these bodies together. So body 4, or actually, yeah, we do have to do something about this middle section. Let's see if I could finish this form and then delete this. So delete. Hey, there we go. We're good. So now all we have to do is edit this. Never mind. See, I'm learning the same time as you're learning. Delete this. There you go. We edited the first one. And you're supposed to make all your bodies in one forms editable workspace. I don't even know what to call it. So let's edit this, make it simple, modify, merge edges. So let's do this. So to connect these two planes, hold Control. This is group 1. Select group 2, hold Control. And I messed up already again because these are 4 and these are 3. But let's see if it connects. There you go. There you go. I switched this to 4. Let's see if it worked that on the other side. And voila. That looks beautiful. And there you go. You have something that looks like a roof wing. So it has this curve on it, which I like. It follows the curve on the top, which I also like. It follows the curve on the back, which I also like. The only problem now that we're going to work on the next video are these little gaps underneath and on top, because it doesn't conform to the roof's curvature. But that will be in part 2. So I think this is Rookie Engineering episode 5 or 6. And anyway, like and subscribe. I'll see you next Sunday for another video, probably the continuation of this video. But yeah, like and subscribe. I'll see you next weekend. Peace.